Good morning, y'all. How's everybody doing? You miss me? Well, I'm back. I just had a story that I had to share with you. And I almost put my hair in a ponytail because I realized I've never done one of these with my hair in a ponytail. It may be because my hair has been growing out, and at the time that I did the majority of the other ones, which I know you've been missing me. Admit it. You miss me. You want these. You need these in your life. You need apparently all this chest hair too. Let's button up here and be a little more proper. Anyways, so I wanted to convey a story to you as I usually do, and I've never shared this story, I think, and not a lot about my wife Mela and I. So I know if she's watching this, she's probably clenching up her butt cheeks, but no, this is funny. So when Mela and I were dating, she and I had discussed the fact that I never had been on a canoe or been rafting or been on the river or something. So she decided to rent a canoe from, I believe it's called Columbia Outdoors or something like that. It doesn't matter. But she rented a boat for us, like a canoe. And if you're familiar with Columbia, there's a bunch of places you can put in boat launches, that kind of thing. So what we decided to do was to put in by Cornerstone Church, which is off of Old Bush River Road, kind of in the St. Andrews, Irmo area. And we would take the canoe down to the Bush River Landing, which is off of St. Andrews and off of Bush River, kind of in that back neighborhood near Real Mexico, an awesome Mexican restaurant. And down there, you kind of wind in past a Catholic church or whatever. So we put my car there. We took her car with the canoe up and we put in. What we didn't realize is the sunset and how long it would take us to get down to Bush River Landing. So as we were floating in this canoe and both of us had limited experience, the sun set and we did not know where the hell we were. We are on the river, pitch black, with this little Rayovac. I remember the name because it was a near-death experience. You remember stupid shit like this. It was a little Rayovac flashlight that she had in her purse. And it wasn't LED. This is like the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. It was like a little pocket flashlight. So we had made it almost to the landing, we think. And during this time we had seen, it was pitch black. We had heard like rolling water and we were like, are we going into fucking rapids? Like, we were such noobs and had no right to be out in the river, let alone out in the river in the dark. So we made it almost to Bush River and we thought we were there and we saw a landing. Well, we ended up landing like kind of a little bit up of where my car was parked, where the actual boat launch or landing was. So we ended up jumping a fence where there was a communication tower, probably a radio tower, and we walked through that area and we figured we would jump the other side of the fence and walk to my car and then try to figure out what we were going to do. What we ended up doing was we did that and we walked to my car and turned my headlights on so we could see them in the dark. And then we went back to the boat and we floated it back down to where my car was. Two things about getting out of the canoe where we did and kind of going through that field. The grass was probably about up to Mela's knees and at least up to my ankles. So when we noticed and we had gotten into where we could see, if you know anything about Mela, if you know her for a while, she's allergic to like pollen and grass and stuff. And her legs looked like someone had like switched her, or she had like a very bad reaction to climbing through like knee-high grass. So that was the first thing. So we get to my car, and I had a 1985 Mazda 626. Cool car, 5-speed, but at this particular time it didn't have AC. So I'd left the windows down. Well, the problem with that is I left, yes, this is how old I am. Tell me how old you are without telling me how old you are. I left my wallet and my pager in the little console. So I got to my car. We were all good. We got Mela's car. We strapped the Canoe on it, blah, blah, blah. We did all that shit. And then I looked on my pager, and there were multiple pages from my mom's number. So we go over to where the Ollie's is in St. Andrews, and there was a payphone there. Look up payphone on the internet if you don't know what that is. So we went to the payphone, and I made a phone call, and my mom and sister were freaking out. They were like, oh my gosh, this, that, and the other. You're so, we were so scared. You're so thoughtless, blah, blah, blah. They told me what they thought of Mela too for her idea, whatever. But what had happened was a police officer had gone down to the landing, because people go down there and probably party and do drugs and whatever. And they were doing their patrols, and they found my car with the windows down and shit in the console. So they ran the plates, and they called, or I think they showed up at my mom's house in Lexington. We're like, hey, we found this car. It's kind of registered to you, or the insurance was in her name or something. I was in my 20s. And we don't know where your son is. So they were freaking the fuck out. So they read me the riot act over the phone. And, yeah, that was the adventure. And all based on the fact that my soon-to-be wife at the time and I had a discussion that we wanted to go canoeing. So she got it. It was very thoughtful. It just kind of turned into a very interesting adventure. So, hope you enjoyed that story. I hope it was clear what had happened, because sometimes I see butterflies and chipmunks and squirrels and go off on tangents. But I think that's the beauty of this little thing that we got going on between you and I. Anyways, like and subscribe. Have the best fucking day. It's August, soon it'll be cooler, but enjoy the time in the armpit of the South that is Columbia. And I don't know, maybe I'll be back sooner or later. I do have a story in the hopper, but I wanted to share this story because I've never shared really anything about Mela and I and our dating experience and shit like that. So enjoy your fucking day.